Alright, it is March 19th, 2022, and today the world's strongest Backgammon AI, which I nicknamed Coronagammon, turns 2 years old. And I'm going to play a game against Coronagammon. We're going to play just one round, so we'll be up to 1 point. So Coronagammon rolled a 6-2 and moved the back checker and the midpoint checker. Let me make sure my camera is focusing correctly. Okay, it is our turn and we rolled double fours, so apologies if I don't make the best moves, but I'm going to move my 1 point. 1 to 5. So as you can see, compared to when I was playing this a year ago, I've improved the user interface quite a bit. We're going to execute the move. Coronagammon rolls a 6-4. It's a little bit of background. 2 years ago today, I was living out of my car and I frantically moved into an Airbnb when everything had locked down. And when I got to the Airbnb, I sat at the kitchen table. I was stewing over all the problems when I decided to write an AI for the game of Backgammon to take my mind off of what was going on. And I nicknamed the game Coronagammon, obviously. And it's gone through a few versions. I just kind of jotted down all the different versions I've had. So this program that I'm running right now is version 5, which I named Omicron version, obviously. And as we speak, I'm working on version 6.0, which is unmasked, because we just got rid of the mask mandate here in Washington. There was a Herman Cain Memorial version, a Get Well Trump when Trump was ill, obviously Delta, and now Omicron, right? With the unmasked version, I'm thinking of some ways to break the game down into different phases, and each one having its own function that is machine learned, obviously. So we did 5-7. We need to move a 6. Let's move the 5 checker to 11. Feel free to comment if I'm not making the best of moves. We're gonna execute that move. Okay, a 6-3, and that put our checker on the bar. We roll a 6-5, so we can move the bar checker. Well, we gotta move that to 5 first. And then we might as well go from 5 to 11 with the 6, right? Double threes. Looked like he made one of the points. Oh wow, he made the 3 and the 5 point at once. We roll a 4-3. We could make the 15 point, 11 to 15, 12 to... do I want to leave that 11 checker exposed? Or do I want to go 16... Oh, I can make the 5 point, 16 to 20 and 17 to 20. Execute. Okay. We can enter that onto the 2 checker. And then move a 6 checker to a 5 point. I can still see where I was sitting on the kitchen counter that day. I don't know why it's become one of the best days out of my life, even though at the time it was a lot of panic going on, right? If I had to name some of the most interesting days of my life, probably Coronagammon, probably the first time I ever went on a solo sexual date. What else? I've had all sorts of colorful events in my life. I would actually say the first time I went on a solo sexual date was probably even more interesting than the first heterosexual date I ever went on. But that's just me. We roll a 3-2. Gonna take a risk and hit that checker. And if we don't make it, we can always make an anchor on that side of the board. So I played a 3, now I need to play a 2. Feel free to comment if some of the plays could be a little bit better. 5-1. Okay, now we can cover that 3 point. Six, 4. Oh, we dance. We can't move anything. Double 5s. That's a dance as well. Double 4s. Ah, that's not looking good. Okay, we're closed out of the board now. We're still closed off. Double 4s. Wow, that's really unlucky. Okay, now we can enter 1 checker. Five, 4. Wow. Let's see if we can at least avoid getting gammoned. 5 to 9. 6, 11. 9 to 13. I need to play a 5, 11, 16. And wow, so we got gammoned, although it was only a 1-point match, so it's kind of moot. But this is a neural network that the algorithm is running on. So the board, you can think of it as represented by a series of bits representing whether or not there's a checker on every given spot, right? So every point can potentially have 15 checkers. So you got a 15 by 25 bitmap, if you will, for the board. Actually a 2 by 15 by 25, right? Because there's 2 colors. And you want to know the probability of each side winning. And so you're estimating a math function to do that. And how do you adjust that math function? Well, it's a neural network that takes in that 2 by 15 by 25 and outputs a probability. And it's reinforcement learning, right? It's playing rounds against itself and adjusting based on what positions can move to what other positions. And right now, as we speak, and I'm working on version 6.0, which I nicknamed Unmasked, obviously. I'm thinking of breaking the game down into its different phases of the game, right? So for example, right now I have the doubling cube as one of the bits, right? So whatever side holds the doubling cube is one of the inputs to the function. But I think the functions are going to vary sharply as one side holds the cube, right? The tricky part is that if the person on move holds the cube, on the next turn it's the opponent that holds the cube. So your functions are kind of learning, one function's learning the output of the other and vice versa, right? That could introduce a little bit of instability. But I hope to see how that goes, do some experiments to see, and see if there are some ways to crunch that down. Anyway, so Coronagammon turns 2 years old today, and it was now thinking back on it, one of the most interesting days of my life, on par with the time I went on my first solo sexual date, which was close to 12 years ago now.